Alright, so here's basically what I'm doing right now. We're preparing a little bit of maple energized energy. This is going to be not for testing. This is going to be more for personal enjoyment because, you know, the only way we can keep functioning is off of a extremely highly caffeinated environment. So basically what we have here is a little 2-liter keg. And what I'm going to do is put the flavor in the keg, and we're gonna go chill it, carbonate it, and we'll taste it a little bit. A little new recipe for the energy. Basically what happens is that when you're making a syrup or making soda in general, there's two parts to it. You have your water, and then you have your sugar base and your flavor base. So basically what we're doing here in this recipe in particular, we're going to dilute it by 15-to-1 ratio. Obviously when we're producing in larger batches, I like to be a little bit more accurate. This is more just rough enjoyment for me to see anything we can improve. I was thinking of making this a little bit more sour by using more citric acid, but I think it should be fine. We'll see in a couple minutes. The colder your water is, the more CO2 gets absorbed within the water, right? So if I were to carbonate this at, let's say, room temperature, it won't be nearly as effective as carbonating it at near zero, right? So right now I've got a little system that's a little bit more technical, more an improvement over your soda stream, and this is just basically a tank of CO2, a little bit of wires. That's our CO2. So basically that's pure CO2. And now, normally what people can do when they're kegging is you can just put the CO2 like this and leave it, but usually takes around a week for it to carbonate. How you can speed it up? Give it a little shake. Shake it up, and you can't hear right now, but if you actually go close to the CO2, you actually hear a little psh going, and it tells you that it's actually going in. Usually what I like to do is once you stop hearing that noise is when it tells me that it's basically at saturation, and if I want to do it, I can either let it sit or chill it down even more. But the energy, like most energy drinks, isn't as carbonated as, say, our lime or as a cola. I find that a lower carbonation is usually more ideal, especially for the flavor because of the type of natural caffeine we're using, which has this pretty bitter taste. I'll go into our ingredients a little later at some point, but it has this kind of bitter taste. And when you over-carbonate it, it takes away enough sweetness that flavor begins to stick out and it creates somewhat an unpleasant flavor. So now that I have this, I'm just going to let this sit for a little bit. Why? Because if we were going to pour it out immediately, it would pour out as complete foam, and then that means it'll be flat. So by letting it sit, we'll let the CO2 settle down inside, and it'll be fine. Now we wait for a little bit. So let me explain what's happening right now. So we are Mapl Soda, okay? We are a soda startup. Basically what we're trying to do is try to create healthier sodas that actually taste good. So if you look at a lot of the competition out there, right? It's basically set in two separate categories. You've got your Coca-Cola, your Pepsi Colas, right? And they either have huge amounts of sugar, 40 grams of sugar in a single can, or they're using artificial sweeteners like aspartame and Ace K within their diet products. Then on the other side, you have the complete healthy products, right? These are like Zevia, Guru, etc., Poppy, Olipop. These have become pretty popular, but I don't think, and I have not been happy with their taste. I know some people say, oh, they love it. Sure, taste is always subjective, but me personally, they don't even come even close to what Pepsi and Coke are doing. So what we wanted to try and do is create a healthy alternative that actually tastes good. That's the fundamental thesis behind Mapl Soda. Also, as a Canadian brand, we'll be using maple syrup as one of our main sweeteners within the drinks. You know how you have your Coke, your Pepsi, you can leave those out at room temp just sitting for not even months on end, but years on end. And that's because of artificial preservatives and higher technical manufacturing practices. Those two things, we don't want to use those artificial preservatives because the fundamental basis is that all our products are all natural, as well as being healthier by being low sugar. And then those manufacturing practices I was talking about involve hundreds of $1,000s of equipment that we just don't have. We're using pretty rudimentary manufacturing processes. But basically what we're doing is we're trying to find different ways in which we can extend the shelf life. So as a Coke or Pepsi can last for years, right now when left at room temperature, meaning just leaving it out on your shelf, right? Our products don't seem to last very long, maybe around 3 days, but if you keep it refrigerated, it'll be good for 6 to 8 weeks type thing. And that's fine, but if we want to go full commercial, you need to have it to be shelf stable. So right here we've got a few of our tests going on. So this is this is the same energy prototype that I've been using. And these were bottled on Wednesday at 11. And basically what I'm trying to see is that I'll taste these and we'll test these at different periods of time, probably 1 week and then 2 weeks and maybe a couple months. And I want to see how the flavor holds up and if there's anything bad with it. In the past, we've done a lot of testing, and we found that, again, it does not last very long, which, angers me because that is the secret to cracking basically into the soda industry. Without that shelf stability, we cannot sell, we cannot ship online, and overall, we can't really start. Now, at John Abbott, we've been very blessed where we've been able to sell at a place that has a refrigeration area. Basically what I'm doing now, again, is just, some of this soda is just for personal enjoyment because who cares if a soda's healthy if it's not good, right? And me personally, as a huge soda drinker, absolutely love it. If I had the chance, I would drink Diet Pepsi, I would drink Diet Coke, Fanta, all these things forever. But these have detrimental impacts to your body and to your health. Right? When you're consuming 40 grams of sugar in a single can, I could easily down a liter, 2 liters of cola. But not only would that put me way over my sugar limit for not only the day, but for like the entire week, it's just truly unhealthy. Well, these I'm trying to make a quite comparable product, especially in our lemon lime. This is one of my favorite recipes. Again, people from John Abbott will know that we've had previous recipes, and if you see our previous TikToks, you'll know that we've had certain recipes. Those were okay, but this new lemon lime, I'm telling you, is one of the greatest pieces of art that I've created. And I think that once people try it, they'll definitely agree with me that is comparable to a Sprite or a 7-Up. Go around talking about a few of our ingredients. Especially for the new energy, there are certain ingredients that we've had to incorporate in order to make it energetic, right? So your traditional Monster, your Red Bull are all using an artificial version of caffeine. I believe some sort of caffeine citrate. What we're using is something called guarana extract. So guarana extract is a plant found in South America. It's turned into an extract. And basically it provides natural caffeine. And a few things that are beneficial with our energy drink compared to your Monster is that we formulated it so that there's no crash. Usually when you have an energy drink, you'll be super hyper for a couple hours, but then once that caffeine starts to wear off, you absolutely crash and you feel super tired. A way that guarana helps us to avoid that is that it creates a slower rise and a longer peak, meaning that you won't feel that crash necessarily after your 4 hours. So I think we've let this sit for a little bit. So right now what I'm going to do is just make sure that I'm at an appropriate level for serving this. If the CO2 is, if the pressure is too high when you're serving it, it's likely going to be flat, I think. I don't think I mixed it enough, but we'll see. So you're going to see it's likely to come out super foamy at first, but then hopefully it'll die down a little bit. Yeah, as you can see like that. Quite foamy, but then just like that, you have a little bit of maple energy. As you can see, it's definitely carbonated. So now we'll take a little sip. made this? No, I'm kidding. Like I said, this could definitely be more carbonated. It's basically flat. I didn't shake this enough, but already this is very good. Now, the problem with this is, again, like I said, it does not hold. So a few of the testing we've done involves different practices of removing impurities within the drink. And by removing those impurities like dissolved oxygen and different particles found in just your normal tap water, I think that we should be able to extend that shelf life to something that's a little bit more comparable to some of our competitors. One of the main issues you find with healthier alternatives is that they seem to be a lot more expensive, where we find Guru Energy, which is, well, energy drinks in general are quite expensive, but Guru on top of that is even more expensive because people perceive it as healthy, and when people perceive it as healthy, they put it in a certain category. So it's a lot harder for someone who's used to drinking Monsters to justify drinking a Guru Energy just on the health basis alone. You have to give people an incentive as to why they should switch from something they've known for the past whatever decades, like Coca-Cola. You've drank it since you've been a child, right? In order for you guys to have an incentive to want to switch over to something healthier, not only does it have to taste good, you have to have it at a price that's somewhat similar. Right now, it's almost impossible for us to reach the prices at which Coke and Pepsi are selling without going to a loss. But I think that prices which Guru, Olipop, Poppy, all these healthy companies are selling, I think those are drastically too high. A single can of one of those can easily run you $4 after tax. I recently bought a can of Poppy just to taste it. Didn't taste that good, but that's just me. That's just a food theory. I'm kidding. $4 for a little can of soda is not gonna let anyone who's drinking 50-cent cans of soda, which is around the price which Coke and Pepsi are selling, 50 cents a can. You're not gonna have many people switching to this healthier alternative. There's not enough value within it. Let me show you our can collection. So right now, you can see here we've got a little box of cans. It's around 200 cans, I believe. And these are large cans, you'll notice. So these large cans are 473s. This is basically what a Monster Energy comes in, around that size. And we're making not only our energy drinks, but our soda with these cans. And we think that, sure, it's a little bit expensive. Currently, at John Abbott, where we're selling, with tax included, one can like this of soda will run you $3.25. $3.25 for a can this size compared to $4 for a can, a normal can that size, is already an improvement. Especially for energy drinks, which are, historically, have been more expensive. You know, you buy Red Bull, you buy Monster Energies, you're easily paying $3 a can anyways. So I think we've created a very much comparable price for these products. So this is the first episode of our vlog. Again, I don't know how to make a vlog. You can tell a little bit, but it's fine. We'll get better, just as our sodas will get better over time. And hopefully you'll be able to see us grow, and then you'll hopefully be able to support us when we try to bring these healthier sodas to market. So we'll catch you next time, and keep mapling.